last time in the good Star Trek movie. A whale of a tale! It appears a probe is destroying the Earth in the hopes of finding the extinct humpback. Desperate to hammer in an animal rights commentary, the Enterprise goes back in time to see if they can find some. They're told time travel is dangerous, despite the fact that they've done it a billion times before and will continue to do it a billion times after. Yar she blows, but this marine biologist will not hand them over so easily. She will later be banished to the same horrendous realm that Captain Decker was banished to. The whales are captured, the probe is pleased, and director Leonard Nimoy is happy this reaches an audience that lives outside their parents' basements. Will Shatner have the same luck as he takes over directing the next one? One of the more famous stinkers of the Star Trek franchise, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier. This movie has so much and yet so little going on at the same time that it can't help but result in an illogical mess. The harsh moments are funny, the funny moments are harsh, the characters seem like over-the-top cutouts of themselves, it's just crazy. So let's see why this film boldly went where no film should have gone before. We open with a scavenger on Nimbus 3 in the neutral zone, where he seems to think he can make more holes in the movie than the script can. It turns out this writer is a Vulcan named Sybok, who has an incredible power to take people's pain away in a matter of seconds. Oh good, we'll need that after this movie.
What is it you seek? What all men have sought since time began? The ultimate knowledge.
Well, you're not gonna find it in a film Shatner directed. And speaking of which, we see Shatner trying to climb his own ego as it seems Kirk and the crew are on shore leave. McCoy watches from below, trying to see if he can have a heart attack on screen.
Irresponsible. Greetings, Captain. I have been monitoring your progress. I'm flattered.
It's also nice to see that the innovative technology so often praised on Star Trek has taken a back seat to Wile E. Coyote trademarks.
Why don't you go pester Dr. McCoy for a while?
Back on Nimbus 3, we see a scuzzy bar where, oh jeesh. Did I mention that Shatner wrote this too? Mr. Shatner, I don't know why you wrote in a Vanessa. But she doesn't seem to be all that important.
Oh, but she is. She shows what a rundown place it is.
But then she kills all the main characters except for you.
Yes, everything in Star Trek has been building up to the
But that doesn't make sense! Why would a cat lady... Vanessa be the big payoff in Star Trek?
Because it adds to the gravitas and weight of...
You just wanted to see this disgusting thing on screen, didn't you?
Just give me 5 scenes with her.
1,
4,
2.
Done. Shatner, you still got it.
Gentlemen, I'm Caitlin Darr.
So it turns out... Oh god, I can't believe I'm saying this. A Romulan, a human, and a Klingon walk into a bar. Don't look at me, I'm sure it was written that way in the script. Here is a Romulan representative. In fact, they're all representatives of their governments. And they meet up in this of a location. Kinda weird, they couldn't find another place to meet? To lay out exposition.
20 years ago, our 3 governments agreed to develop this planet together.
Our new age died a quick death.
But their sucks to be them speech is interrupted by Sybok.
Our governments will stop at nothing to ensure our safety.
That's exactly what I'm counting on.
We then cut back to Camp Hammy, where Spock, Bones, and Kirk all sit around the fireplace eating beans. Don't say too close to Spock there.
These are from an old Southern recipe handed down to me by my father.
In that case, I have little choice but to sample your beans.
Oh my. Bourbon and beans, an explosive combination.
With that Vulcan metabolism, he could eat a bowl of termites and it wouldn't bother. You know, you two could drive a man to drink. You really me off, Jim.
Okay, take the whiskey away from him. He's clearly had his fill.
Maybe it didn't cross that macho mind of yours, but you should have been killed when you fell off that mountain.
Not another thing. What's up with the you had earlier?
Vanessa.
I knew I wouldn't die because the two of you were with me.
I do not understand.
I've always known I'll die alone.
Or with a bald man trapped under a bridge gasping for air, but I know it's one of those two. So to be fair, that is a pretty deep scene to have in a Star Trek movie. What's it leading up to?
I believe we are required to engage in a ritual known as the sing-along.
I haven't sung around a campfire since I was a boy in Iowa. What are we going to sing? What, Bones, what are we going to sing?
How about Camptown Races?
Pack up your troubles. Moon over Rigel 7.
Row, row your boat.
Row, row, row your boat. I love row. Do you know row, 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 row your boat?
That song did not come up in my research, Captain.
The lyrics are very simple. It's row, row, row your boat.
Is this really worth playing over the hostage scene that we had going on earlier? I don't know if I see the necessity of it.
Merrily, 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 life is but a dream. The doctor and I will start it off, and then when we give you a signal, you jump in. Doctor, if you please.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
They're really building up this musical interpretation, aren't they?
Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 lightly down the stream.
Everybody! Row, row, row your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, 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 merrily. What are we doing? Are we really spending so much time on this? Wasn't there some government representatives that were threatened with death? Why are we still here?
Merrily, 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 life. Come on, Spock, why didn't you jump in?
I was trying to comprehend the meaning of the words.
I'm trying to comprehend the meaning of this scene.
It's a song, you green-blooded Vulcan.
Life is not a dream.
No, you're right. It's a series of questions leading up to inevitably asking, what the hell am I doing sitting around a fireplace singing Row Your Boat?
Good night, Bones. Good night, Jim. Good night, Spock.
Good night, Doctor.
Night, Spock.
Good night, Jim.
Good night, children.
Good night, Daddy.
Good night, John Boy. Good night, Jim Bob.
Good night, Elizabeth.
Meanwhile, we cut to a crazy Klingon who's just, well, bored. So he looks for crazy to do. Riveting subplot, huh? Wasn't that Nimoy's quote about the film?
Hod, Yorkshire, Yachnibo, Pot.
And he might get his wish. Shore leave, it appears, is canceled due to the hostage situation, and the crew are flown back.
All I ask is a tall ship and a star to steer her by.
Melville, John Masefield.
Are you sure about that?
I am well versed in the classics, Doctor.
Then how come you don't know row, row, row your boat?
Oh good! We get to sing it again! Row, row, row your boat gently down the...
Half the ship operational in 2 weeks. I gave you 3. What happened?
I think you gave me too much time, Captain.
Rich. I hope. I could use a shower.
Yes.
Well, that wasn't nearly as important as the row, row, row your boat scene, but I still see the necessity of that line. It was to us off, right? Because you did a very good job. So the ship has all sorts of problems and odds and sods that aren't fixed yet, but that doesn't stop the Federation from sending what seems like the only captain they ever send for anything.
Now, I know Enterprise is not exactly up to specs.
The Enterprise is a disaster. There must be other ships in the quadrant.
Other ships, yes, but no experienced commanders. Captain, I need Jim Kirk.
Well, why don't you take a ship that's not a disaster and put Kirk on that?
What's the matter, Jim?
I miss my old chair.
Okay, it's the writing from Little Rascals. You need better jokes than these! Actually, it it does feel like the little rascals. No, seriously, Spock's reaction is just like the dog, isn't it?
I miss my old chair.
Stop it! We then see the hostage footage that Cybok has sent out.
He requests that you send a Federation starship to parley for our release at once.
I deeply regret this desperate act, but these are desperate times. I have no desire to harm these innocents, but do not put me to the test. I implore you.
Oh, and every day he doesn't, people will die.
Oh, and by the way, when did Voldemort get there? Was a representative of Hogwarts on that planet too? So because the teleporter isn't working, they take a shuttle down to see if they can sneak in. A shuttle from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, apparently. But in order to sneak in, they need a distraction. Oh god, no. Oh god! Go no closer! How long is this scene? Perfect! Save me, corporate America!